Hello. So I'm recording this as I walk in a little nature area. So you may hear some water in the background or other natural sounds. It's my first time doing this. I hope the recording comes out clear. My first time walking while recording. But it's fun. It's a little more fun. Okay, so I wanted to share something that it's a perspective, it's a way of doing life that I've tried to share a few times in conversation when it's come up or someone's asked me like, how do you do your life? And I'm like, it's really simple. I run my own business and I'm pretty relaxed about it. It doesn't take up my whole life. I do a lot of travel and it provides for me with my needs, or God provides me through my business. And I have time for other stuff, family, friends, fun, thank God. And people ask, how do you do it? And then when I try to share, I get a lot of resistance. Or I've experienced some resistance of like telling them what I'm doing and why it works for me. And I thought, you know what? I'll just put it out in a podcast where I can't be interrupted because it's just me. And if I don't get it in my own way, then I'll be able to just share the whole thought. I may be all over the place because there's so much in it and it's so beautiful. And so try to stay with me and follow along. And if it gets a little confusing, I think at the end we'll all wrap up and you'll understand the whole picture. I'm also sharing this, like I'm saying, from my experience. This isn't, a lot of it comes from, reading books and applying what I've learned. But what I'm sharing now is not just a theory that, if you do this, this will happen because I read it somewhere. But actually, I'm just sharing with you an experience that I'm currently going through. Like, this is my life. This is what I do or what I try to do and the results I see from it. And it's pretty miraculous. So I'm not even sure where to begin, but it begins with, I guess, yourself. I think it starts from the beginning of time. We were once a soul up in heaven, and one day we were chosen to come down into this world and do a specific mission. I think the first mission we were given was to care for ourselves. In other words, I have a soul and I have a body, and I'm not sure who is taking care of who because my body keeps my soul kind of in this world, but without my soul, my body is dead. But let's just say like my soul is here to take care of this body or give it life. And that's my first job. And really, my belief is that it's actually my only job. I just have to care for this person. In this case, it's called meMendy Posner. That's my name. And I have to take care of meMendy Posner. And I see him as a separate entity from me. There's me, which is my consciousness and my ability to have a awareness of my experience in this world. And I take care of this person who is always next to me, who I'm always with, who I use to think, who I use to eat, who I use to walk, who I use for everything. This is my main focus is to take care of this thing. And when I take care of this thing, this person, meMendy Posner, then the rest of my family and my friends, my community, and the world at large will get what they need from me. But if I shift my focus to taking care of the rest of the world and what they need from me, then I end up not really giving anything. I have nothing to give, because if I don't fill myself with what am I giving to someone else? But if I do fill myself, then imagine that I'm just a big bucket and I keep filling it up. Eventually it gets full and I just keep filling. I don't stop. I keep filling, and as I fill, it starts to overflow, and that overflow starts to go all over the place. So the people immediately close to me start to feel it. It fills them up. Then they start to fill up the people around them, etc. On and on and on and on. And it keeps going. But I'm not aware of all of that. All I'm aware of is making sure that I'm filling up myself. Sometimes I talk to people, and I know this from my own experience. We wish that we had, let's say, tons and tons of money. Because if I had unlimited amount of money, I'll be able to give so much charity, be able to help so many people. I wish I had so much money that I can help tons of people. And so, if you have this wish, I ask you, and I say, what about the one person you can take care of right now, which is yourself? If you looked in the mirror and you saw this person in the mirror, can you take care of him? It doesn't have to be financially, but also financially. Can you take care of him? Can you give him what he needs? And this is where the long but short way of life, described in Tanya, comes in, because it sounds very simple, but once we start to go down that route and we open up a can of worms, because it's like, oh, so all I have to do is take care of myself, and then from that space everyone around me will be taken care of. Oh, that's so good, let me do it. And then I start to become more aware of myself and how I treat myself, and I realize, wow, I don't take the best care of myself. I don't go to sleep when I maybe should be going to sleep. Then I don't wake up necessarily in the best mood, and then I'm not maybe taking care of my physical needs very well. Maybe I'm not exercising at all. I'm sitting at a computer desk hunched over all day, and then I just come home and kind of in a pissy mood, and I just start to eat a bunch of crap, and I'm not putting in the best food, and I don't really drink during the day because I'm so busy working. I don't have time for myself. And then I come home and it seems like everyone just needs something from me, so then I don't have time for myself, and I keep saying the story to myself that there's no time for me, and I'm busy taking care of everyone. We find ourselves in that pattern. And then once we take on this idea of, you know what, I'm going to start taking care of just myself, forget everyone else, we start to realize it becomes really difficult. It's really difficult. I'm not actually taking care of myself. I thought I was. I thought, I always take care of myself. But why is it that I'm completely not taking care of myself? And it's almost not by choice. It's like I don't have control of my life. I eat bad food. I have bad sleeping habits. My intake on TV, Netflix, Twitter, whatever it is over the top. I'm feeding myself with a bunch of garbage. And I would never do that to anyone else. I don't allow my kids to go and binge Instagram. No way. It's not healthy. They shouldn't be seeing things on there, or movies that are with toxic for your eyes. And I have no problem doing it for my kids. I would never, because I'm so busy taking care of everyone else. But to myself, I treat myself really poorly. Let me ask you a question. At what point did it become okay for a body to handle all this stuff that are out there that aren't very healthy? Bad food, bad drink, alcohol, tobacco, TV already mentioned, and all this other stuff. We make sure that our kids, when they're young, and caffeine even, you can't have it, it's not good for you, you're young. But then at some point, we just completely shift and say, oh, I can have all of that stuff because I'm a little bit bigger in my body. That's not true. If it's bad for a kid, you may be able to handle it, but is it good for you? And then all this stuff that we put into ourselves goes straight to our brain and starts to feed us with those bad self-talk. So I'm start to have a lot of doubt about myself. I start to talk to myself poorly, oh, you're actually just you're not that cool, you're a bad person, you're a bad father, you're a bad husband, you don't know how to do anything, you don't know how to make any money. And then I create my reality. My reality starts to look that way, and then I can forget about myself. Well, let me just take care of everyone else. It makes absolutely no sense. I think even at the beginning, when Hashem put us into this world, He said, I have one mission for you. Can you take care of Mendy Posner? And I was like, let me try. And it became so difficult that I'm like, forget it. Let me just take care of everyone else. I'll take care of other people. I'll have kids. I'll try to take care of them and make sure they're very good, not like me. Just they're going to be perfect. Let me take care of other people, my friends. Let me take care of, try to, change the world to make it a much better place. It's like the story with maybe the Kutzker, who said, when I was young, or at some point, I tried to change the whole world. It became very difficult. I realized I couldn't, so I tried to change just my country. I realized I couldn't. I tried to change my city. I couldn't. I tried to change just my town, just my block, just my shul, just my family. I couldn't change any of them, so I decided, okay, I'm just going to change myself. And after I changed myself, I realized, wow, I started to change myself. My family changed. My block changed. My country, the world, everything changed. And that's exactly the idea. We're put here with the one mission. Can you take care of yourself? If you do, the rest of the world will get from the surplus. You'll be just filling yourself, and the rest of it will spill out to everyone around you. Now, the thing is, we want to take care. So back to what I'm saying, it becomes too difficult to take care of myself, which starts really the whole journey of exploration of why is it so hard for me to take care of myself? If I truly loved myself, then I should give myself the best cure, like they do to the people that I love, at least most of the time. I never go to someone that I love and say, let me just punch you in the face, or let me just tell you something nasty, or let me just why don't you eat this thing that's really bad for you? Obviously there are times, we have treats and it's okay. It's not saying we need to go fanatic, but for the most part, we take good care of people that we love. So why am I not doing that for myself? Even the thoughts I tell myself, why am I not giving myself positive thoughts and positive feedback all the time? So then I must say, maybe I don't love myself. And then the journey begins. Why don't I love myself? And it goes on and on and on. And it becomes very interesting. And the path of self-discovery is full of surprises and beautiful, 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 beautiful insight. But as I was saying, so it becomes too difficult to take care of myself because maybe I actually don't like myself. So let me try to take care of other people. And then I ask that I can have tons of money, and I even pray for it. People buy lottery tickets with promises. When I say people, I say because I've had I bought lottery tickets with this prayer and intention that when I win, I'm going to take care and give half of it away to tzedakah. I'm the perfect candidate for this type of stuff. And it's a big joke. It's really, you are? You're not. You just have one mission: take care of yourself, and it's not that difficult. It is, but it's not really that difficult. If you loved yourself, then you just go and take care of yourself. Take good care of yourself, and then you'll be taking care of everything around you. You don't have to put your focus on other people, just on yourself. And it's kind of funny. So where does that come from? This idea of if I had so much money, I'm just going to give it all away to tzedakah, and this fantasy of winning the lottery and helping everyone. It actually comes straight from our ego, because it's way more attractive for me to know that I have a lot of money and I am helping so many other people. But the fact is, when I come from that space, I'm actually just projecting onto people that they have problems and they need my help, and I'm here to help them. And what I'm in fact doing is just giving them I'm just putting on them my story. I'm not helping them at all. Because if I'm on empty, because I don't fill myself, because I don't love myself, then what possibly can I give to someone else if I don't have it in my possession myself? I can't even give you love because I don't love myself. And even the money I give you, if I somehow manage to get a lot of money and I'm just trying to fix the people that don't have money around me, what I'm basically saying is you need me to give you money so that I can feel good. And that feels terrible to someone, to accept money from someone who just wants to feel good about themselves. It doesn't feel good. But on the other side, if and this doesn't just apply to money, it applies to everything. It's just everything. Whatever you fill yourself up with, you automatically start to give to other people. The thing is that you're not aware of it. You're not aware of it. And that's when it becomes a little more challenging, because the ego wants to be aware of the goodness that it's doing. But if we understand and believe that Hashgacha Pratis is constant, and whatever we do and wherever we are, we're in the perfect place, and we're actually helping people, but we don't have to know about it. We don't have to know about it. It's also like people think it's so, and here's where I'm going to a little bit all over the place, but if people, they hear this and they think like, oh, I should just take care of myself, that's so selfish. It's so selfish. It's so bad. But actually, it's so good. It's so good. When you take care of yourself and just put all your energy into yourself, it's not selfish. Because remember, you, or me, meMendy Posner, it's not me. I'm here to take care of meMendy Posner. Why is it that if I look in the mirror and see someone there who's me, I say, oh, taking care of this thing is selfish. But if I go outside and I look at someone else who looks like maybe they're in a worse position than I am, and I go and take care of them, then it becomes selfless. Even though that is so much more of an attraction for me to go take care of someone else, because it feels so much better. I mean, isn't that selfish? So taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's actually the most important thing you can do, and the best thing you can do for yourself and for the whole world at large. It's completely selfless. It's an act of pure love. So I've been going through this experience, and I'll share something openly here. Like I said, I run my own business. During COVID, I took out a lot of debt. I took out a lot of loans because they were so easy to get, and I was not on top of my stuff. And at some point, like, the cash basically ran out, and I had an employee, and I'm just like with no cash flow, and I was like, oh my God, where do I go from here? And it was a huge awakening of I am being completely reckless. I don't know what I'm doing. I won't get into the whole story. Of course, I broke down. I was crying, oh no, what's gonna be, freak, really, really scared. Eventually, I reached out for help. I called some people. I called my brother, asked for some help. He was very kind to me, gave me a lot of time and advice, and guided me. And I started to take control of my business and starting to budget in my personal life, and became I got on top of my finances, and I still had this thing, you need to give meiser, you need to give tzedakah, and it was very difficult because I have a ton of debt to pay, but I'm busy worrying about I need to give tzedakah to someone else and to someone else. And at some point I said, you know what, enough. Or someone even told me, you're poor, you're not mechayev in meiser for sure, and in tzedakah maybe it's just a little bit. You're not mechayev in this stuff. You don't have to give meiser. I was like, oh, okay. So, and I'm not saying this as halacha stuff. This is it's the true story that happened. So don't call me out for saying halacha. I'm not a rav. I'm just saying what happened. I was using the Dave Ramsey software. It has in it a bunch of tabs, and you put in where all your money went. And I had a giving tab, and every time my wife spent some money on herself, bam, I put it into the giving. I gave money to my wife. My kids needed something. Instead of putting it in we bought clothing, I put it into we gave. This is the giving. They're almost like charity. To who? To the Posner family. To us. I needed something, or I spent some money on myself. That went into giving. A lot of things that instead of looking at it oh, I don't deserve this stuff, I should be spending on myself. I was no, right now I'm giving. This counts as charity that I'm giving to myself, and I give it to me, I give it to my wife, I give it to my kids. And I stayed in that space for a little while until things started to get a little bit better. And this is what I call taking care of myself, looking in the mirror and saying, meMendy, what do you need? And it was oh, I need a certain amount of money to feel to feel safe, to feel like I have my needs provided for me. Who's going to provide it for you? I will. I'll provide it to you, meMendy. I speak to meMendy. meMendy tells me what he needs, and together, with Hashem's help, I and Hashem will provide to meMendy. You don't have to worry anymore. I'm taking care of you. So this goes a lot into like inner child work of, like I said, it's a whole journey. All of a sudden you realize you have a lot of fear, and what are these fears come from, and you gotta go a long exploration. But in short, my point is that I started to take care of myself. Like, I will take care of meMendy Posner, and as I filled his bucket, even like financially, like physically, taking money, paying myself. And looking at things that I needed as giving to myself. This is an act of love that I'm doing for myself and for my family. And then at some point it was like, hey, if I'm able to provide for myself and it's working, let me see if I can reach a little bit outside myself. Do I have some other family members, close family, community, not the whole world, but just close, that I can also, not crazy numbers, just a little bit, like a little bit that's spilling out of my bucket. Okay? And then this process is forever evolving. And as time goes by, all of a sudden, I see that I'm able to, I'm just filling myself, and it's starting to spill a little bit wider. I feel a little more space. Someone else asks for a donation. It's like, hey, yeah, I can provide for that. I can just put in, it's just coming out of my bucket. This isn't like I'm helping you, you need me. It's like, let me just spread let's spread out a little bit more. We'll keep filling. I fill up me, and it starts to spill over. It's not there's no like resentment or fear in the giving. If I'm not able to, it's just honest. Okay, I can't do it. Okay, no problem. There's no like desire to be the guy that's providing for everyone. That comes from a really egotistical place of I need to provide for others, and then I feel good about myself. I think we really need to focus on taking care of ourselves, and as I fill my own bucket, it starts to spill out into the world around me. So I think that wraps up this idea. It is very much connected to finances. That's why I went into the financial direction. I speak to friends and people, and there's a big fear of money, and a big fear of this and that. And if we can really take this that I'm speaking about and bring it to that area, it opens up everything. It's not going to be like, okay, let me just take care of financial needs. It turns into like, do I even love myself? If I did, then I'd give myself the money I needed. I'd give myself everything else that I needed, the time that I needed, the space that I needed. I'd give myself the good food I needed, exercise that I needed, etc. But to come in from the financial space is a pretty good entry point, let's just say, into this self-exploration. Even if you're not self-employed, even if you work for someone else, there's still the fear of it. There's not enough. Only you can really take care of it by providing to yourself that love and reassurance that I'm going to take care of you. Like looking in the mirror and forgetting the whole world. We're not here to take care of the whole world. There's a God who's running the whole world in perfect harmony, and everything is just perfect. And I just have one job. Just one job, and that is to take care of meMendy Posner. And the more I do it, the more the world will benefit. But that's really not my, it's not where I'm putting my attention. I need to do this so the world can be better. Once I do that, I'm stepping outside myself again, and then I'm becoming completely distracted, and at some point, I'll be running on empty. And when I'm running on empty, all I'm giving to the world is my emptiness. You can't possibly give what you don't have. So if you're not filling yourself with anything, what are you going to do for someone else? You can't give them. You can't give them what you don't have. And that concept you find, and you can start to see it. You see it clearly when someone or yourself is so desperate to be a provider to others, then you eventually run out of juice, and you run on burnout. Like if my whole purpose in life is to make sure my kids are super happy and super great all the time, and I forget about just making myself happy, and then the energy is just happy around me and they'll be fine, then you start to see that you're just like trying to force them to be happy, and it's such a burnout. You waste so much energy trying to make the people around you happy. Even if it's your kids, I'm trying to make them happy, and they're never happy. And I'm like, of course they're not happy, because you're trying to give them happiness from a place of happiness that you don't have. Your whole target is so my kids should be happy. Are you happy? No, I just want my kids to be happy. So how are you giving them happiness? You don't have it. If you don't have it, you can't give it. And if you do have it, then you don't have to give it. You just have it. It spills out. Just give yourself happiness. Do things that make you happy. Have thoughts that make you happy. Take care of yourself. You'll be happy. If you're happy, you'll start to see the people around you are actually just happy. Or if they're not happy, you can just hold space for that and notice, okay, someone's not happy today. It's not my job to come and make them happy. Like, if I can just witness them and they're not happiness and be okay with that, they'll come around. They'll be okay. Everyone's able to handle themselves. I just have to take care of myself, and that spills around the people around me. It happens with everything. With everything, as long as I'm filling my bucket, it will spill. It'll be okay. The world will be okay, and that's how we change the world. But that's really that's not my. That wasn't my intention over here to tell us how to change the world. I'm just trying to share my experience and what's been working for me, and really opened up my life. There's so much expansiveness. There's so much goodness, so much blessing, so much appreciation, so much gratitude. And it all really starts with, okay, I'm just going to take care of myself, really good care of myself. I'll take the therapy I need. I'll do whether it's, if I need it, whatever modalities I need, if it's psychedelics, if it's IFS, there's 1,000 different things. Whatever works, I'm providing for myself so I can be healthy. And if I'm healthy, the rest is just it's just a plus. It's just a plus that I'm not even putting my attention on. I think that's where the Yetzer Hara, or whatever you want to call him, comes in and tries to pull us out of that experience and say, oh, but are you taking care of the whole world? And then I started to take care of the whole world, and then I run out of juice, and then I'm in burnout. And when I'm in burnout and I keep trying to help everyone else to feel better, all I'm doing is giving them burnout, and it just makes the whole world uncomfortable. Like, if someone's really uncomfortable, what do? They try to make everyone around them comfortable. It's like, who said we're uncomfortable? Why are you projecting onto me your discomfort and trying to make me comfortable? That's making me really uncomfortable. And it makes sense, because if you're uncomfortable and you're trying to make everyone around you comfortable, you don't have comfort. You only have discomfort. So that's what you're giving to the people around you. So I think that sums it up. That is what I wanted to share. I want to thank the nature around me for not interrupting my thought process and allowing me to get it all out there. And of course, anyone that listened to this, thank you for listening. I had fun. And if you want to talk about it, please just give me a call. I am always here. I love talking to people. My name is meMendy Posner. You can reach me at 347-845-8323 or mendyp88@gmail.com. And let's talk. Thank you very much.